Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a CEO, managing director, or a commercial director at an established UK B2B service or tech firm, you already know that expanding into a new territory like Switzerland can be incredibly risky. It is resource-heavy, and let's be honest, those generic market reports just don't cut it anymore. So today, we're going to dive right into a highly disciplined, evidence-led approach designed specifically to de-risk your entry into the Swiss market. We're talking about putting hard evidence before heavy investment.
Here is our agenda for today, mapping out a rigorous two-stage route. We'll start with the investment decision, move into stage 1, which is the sprint, then look at the decision gate, outline stage 2's 90-day mandate, clarify the scope in your contribution, and finally, wrap up with the commercial close.
All right, section 1, the investment decision, moving from assumption to evidence. Let's start with a very common scenario. You've got a proven UK firm, and you see what looks like a really plausible Swiss opportunity. But right now, your exact buyer, your positioning, and your delivery model, they remain entirely untested in that local market.
Which brings us to the absolute critical question every C-suite leader has to ask before committing to premature fixed costs, hiring local talent, or setting up an entity. How much should the company actually invest in Switzerland? In which market configuration? And most importantly, based on what evidence?
To answer that, we have to apply a very strict evidence and learning logic. We start with your assumptions, move directly into gathering real evidence, make a decision, and then take controlled action. This continuous loop means that identifying mismatches, fighting the gap between what you assume and what the market actually wants, is way more valuable than just hoarding a high volume of generic data. Your actual orientation in the market is what matters most here.
So the core proposition is actually pretty simple. You need to first determine whether your proven UK offer is genuinely buyable in Switzerland. The question isn't whether Switzerland is an attractive country in general. Of course it is. The question is whether your specific proposition merits further investment right now, under what conditions, and for which target audience. We absolutely have to determine buyability before activating any sort of local strategy.
Which brings us to Section 2, Stage 1, the Switzerland Market Entry Sprint. Reducing strategic uncertainty. Keep in mind, this is a highly targeted decision and action brief. This is not some general, dusty market report.
The Switzerland Market Entry Sprint operates with very hard, non-negotiable boundaries. We are looking at exactly 15 working days of elapsed time. It involves a maximum of 32 hours of delivery effort, all for a fixed fee of 4,500 Swiss francs, paid fully in advance. By design, this forces a definitive decision quickly. No draining your internal resources, no dragging on for months.
So, what happens in those 15 days? Well, the sprint delivers some very concrete outputs. We rigorously assess the buying case, we identify priority segments, and pinpoint exact buyer roles. We also map out 20 to 30 prioritized target accounts. On top of that, we calibrate your positioning, check for any gaps in your proof or credentials, and define the practical delivery boundaries based on actual, observable market evidence.
Moving to Section 3, the critical decision gate, go, adapt, or no-go. This is where the sprint really proves its worth, transforming all that strategic uncertainty into actionable clarity.
At the end of the 15 days, you're going to get one of 3 clear recommendations. A go means a credible buying case, route, segment, and bounded next test are fully visible. An adapt means, hey, the potential is there, but you have to pivot specific elements like the buyer, the use case, or your delivery boundaries. And a no-go means exactly what it sounds like. The current evidence just does not justify further Swiss investment right now. And you know what? A well-supported no-go is a massive success. It successfully protects your capital, your time, and your firm's reputation.
Let's look at Section 4, Stage 2, the 90-day Switzerland Business Development Mandate, controlled market interaction. Crucially, this stage is only unlocked if you achieve a go or a qualified adapt decision from the sprint.
This is a completely separate operative phase, running on a fixed 90-day term. The specific scope and the fee are defined directly from the evidence we gathered during the sprint, structured as 3 monthly installments paid in advance. This phase is all about rolling up our sleeves and activating those prioritized accounts and stakeholders we mapped out earlier. We're reducing commercial uncertainty through real-world market interaction and targeted outreach.
Now, this brings us to one of my absolute favorite golden rules of market entry. Polite interest is not commercial validation. During this 90-day mandate, we are not interested in having pleasant, chatty conversations.
Those don't pay the bills. We are actively measuring real access to relevant decision makers, actual buying triggers, serious requests for proof, concrete budget signals, and actual next steps.
By the end of those 90 days, we take a hard look at the real buyer reactions to deliver a final verdict. Based purely on that evidence, you'll make the call to either continue with the current approach, adapt your strategy, transition into a partner-led model, build out local capabilities, or simply stop entirely.
Section 5. Scope and Client Contribution. Establishing firm boundaries. Building massive trust and ensuring we are perfectly aligned means being radically transparent about what this advisory includes and what it strictly excludes.
So on the client side, you need to provide a dedicated executive sponsor, access to your key leaders, your UK proof, pricing, and timely feedback. As for strict exclusions, neither of these stages guarantees meetings, leads, opportunities, or revenue. We are entirely excluding legal, tax, and regulatory advice. This isn't about granting country manager authority, providing unlimited business development, or engaging in open-ended sales execution. This work is laser-focused on improving a crucial business decision. It is not here to just blindly validate a predetermined go.
Section 6, the commercial close. This is all about building a clear investment case by placing an evidence-based checkpoint before every single capital commitment.
By adopting this specific method, you rigorously limit premature fixed costs. You create a razor-sharp, evidence-backed investment case. And crucially, you preserve your optionality, whether that means going direct down the line, pivoting to a partner, building locally, or gracefully exiting. You keep your options open. It literally places a protective gate before each larger commitment you make.
So what's the immediate next step for interested executives? It's clear and it's bounded. Simply approve the Switzerland market entry sprint as the first decision stage, nominate your executive sponsor, and provide the commercial and delivery inputs we need to kick off this 15-working-day engagement.
We'll leave this final framework summary on screen for you, taking you from the 15-day sprint right through to the optional 90-day activation. As you evaluate this, I want to leave you with one provocative question. Is your current international expansion strategy based on comfortable boardroom assumptions, or is it firmly grounded in tested, objective market evidence? Thank you for joining this explainer brought to you by Tom Castrezzi at the Switzerland Market Entry Advisory, part of Castrezzi Accelerate Adoption.